haven't seen a fidget spinner, you're probably living under a rock. Famous people are playing with them, celebrities, and people all over are talking about them. They're in news stories, they're online, all over social media, and there are a growing number of people making videos about fidget spinners. What the heck is a fidget spinner, and what do they look like? Good question. They're simple, weird, a bit tempting to try, and once you do, oddly satisfying, making them now very, very popular. The mass desire for the gadgets has created a demand for high-end spinners. There are dual-bar spinners like the Torque version, then tri-bar spinners like the Pearl version, the gold-spiked version, and the Dragon version, as well as the glow-in-the-dark, tie-dye, light-up, and even Bluetooth spinners. They can also have multiple bars like the Octopus version. The more expensive versions are now being made with the highest ABEC bearings available for a much longer and smoother spin. You can find them with up to 5 bearings, like the quad bar version, one in the center and one at the end of each bar, allowing them to be used in more ways. People can also find tutorials and instructions to make homemade spinners, if you're on a budget or just prefer to be creative. There are even a growing number of people who are getting very skilled at doing spinner tricks. How are they made? Basically, they're a simple little device, made with a ball bearing at the center, placed into a mold, and plastic or metal formed around it, creating 2 or 3 rounded blades to grip and use to spin effortlessly between your fingers. 3D printing is now becoming a popular way to produce them as well. Fidget spinners were designed to help children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, boredom, anxiety, and autism, but turned into a toy later on. Who, what, where, and why were they first created? An article by the Christian Post states, even though fidget spinners became popular only this year, the toy first came out in the 1980s, invented by Catherine Hettinger. Some say Catherine, a chemical engineer, invented the fidget spinner to keep children occupied so that they can refrain from getting into trouble with other kids or police authorities. Hettinger filed a patent application for the spinning toy in 1993, and a patent was issued, but she allowed the patent to lapse in 2005 after she could not find a commercial partner, meaning that anybody can now manufacture and sell them without her. This is why there are so many brands of the toy. Anyone is free to make their own version now. Hettinger told Money that she's just excited that the fidget spinners have finally become popular today. According to Wikipedia, Hettinger was initially credited by the big news sources to have been the inventor of the fidget spinner. Since earlier this year, stores have found it difficult to keep the fidget spinners on the shelves. Being a stress-relieving toy suitable for all ages, their buyers range from kids to college students to adults. It seems that people don't do research, though, and just spread what the next guy says, because a May 2017 Bloomberg news article showed that Hettinger was not the inventor of the fidget spinner, and she agreed. There have been others coming forward hoping to take credit for this creation. In an interview published on May 4, 2017 on NPR, Scott McCoskey explains that he invented a metal spinning device in 2014 to cope with his own fidgeting in IT meetings and conference calls. In response to online requests, he called the device Torque Bar and began selling it. But I guess this is why you should patent your idea, big or small. You never know what people will do with it, and the spinners have been a good example of this. My experience and opinions. Before I had heard of the fidget spinner in 2017, I had come across the fidget cube a few weeks prior, which many of you have probably seen. When I first saw the fidget spinners, they were selling them at a concert on May 2-4 weekend. People seek to take advantage of the trend and the anxiousness of citizens, and this is seen at almost every event, not just at protests, which have been said to be using the device to lure people into certain political groups. In the case of concerts, they would have seen the marketing opportunity to satisfy people tweaking on drugs In the case of protests, there is a lot of standing around and sitting, so you can see the obvious need for the toy. It seems like we are a nation with a crisis of mass anxiety, tension, fast-paced life, and have lost our natural ability to ground ourselves, as well as calming our mind and body through natural processes like meditation. This is what happens when we do not fix the cause of the issue. I believe mostly stemming from pharmaceuticals, world conflict, and the dependence on and advancement of technology, and we constantly seek to cover up the side effects through medication, the quick fix, and seem to be trying to normalize anxious behaviors. I finally bought a fidget spinner and will unbox it with you to get my first reactions and let you know if it poses any risk. Also testing if it does what it's supposed to. It seems there have been an evolution of the toy, with a few people contributing to its success today. Like any good invention, it was created by building upon previous ideas. Are they a fad? Most journalists seem to think so. Like yo-yos, Beyblades, trading cards, or tech decks before them, and more recently things like water bottle flipping, fidget spinners are just the latest activity and must-have item to sweep the country. Anyone remember Pokemon Go? Have the trends I mentioned picked up momentum or faded away over the years? Why did they go viral? Fidget spinners seem to be a bit different from most product trends, since they have no age limit. They actually have health benefits and a real-world use, since they aid with stress, boredom, and are great for kids with ADHD and other behavioral-related disorders. We may see parents and people who deal with children using them for years to come. They are said to also help you curb bad habits and other behaviors, such as biting your nails, impulse eating, and smoking. This has been an advantage when it comes to marketing, and every time you see someone selling the toy, it is described to help with certain behavioral or mental issues. We will look into this deeper, so stay tuned to find out if these claims have any evidence to back them up. They remind me a little bit of the electronic cigarette or vaping devices, due to their potential to replace negative behaviors. There has been some scientific research that proves fidgeting with something has a calming effect and can lead to stress and anxiety relief. A study also found that doodling, as well as fidgeting, can also help most people refrain from daydreaming. It's definitely not the first fidget device. One of the early versions of the fidget toy was a fidget ring. It looks like a normal ring that you wear on your finger, but it has an inner band that locks into place with an outer band that spins freely using your other fingers. It is said to come from Tibetan meditation techniques. The Tibetans called the device a worry ring because it was said to have a calming effect on the mind and body. It is the most subtle and hidden version of the spinner, and if you are banned from using a hand spinner in class, try using a ring. Usually nobody will even notice it. Check out our channel for more videos like this, and stay tuned. Please hit the bell and subscribe, because we're going to be releasing more videos in this series about fidget spinners. That's all for today, so please stay brilliant, my friends.